Target, Siena, an important point in the Italian railroad system. Preceding our ground offensive against the German armies below Rome, the Tactical Air Force struck out at the Italian transportation network, an all-out assault against communications north of Rome to cut off the flow of supplies to the enemy. Marauders from Sardinia, bound for the Arezzo and Boccini viaducts, abandoned the primary target because of bad weather. They made an unplanned run on the large railway yards at Siena on the alternate Florence-Rome railway line. These yards contained many units of rolling stock. The bomb run started at the south end of the yards at an altitude of 10 to 11,000 feet. 1,000-pound bombs were laid in good concentration. Photo interpretation reported that all the tracks were definitely cut and both choke points of the railway yards were hit. Some of the bombs hit warehouses on either side of the tracks. On the left side of the screen, direct hits may be seen on tracks and rolling stock. No enemy fighters or flak were encountered by the 36-ship formation. Target, railway installations at the port of Leghorn. From an altitude of between 9,500 to 11,000 feet, 34 Marauders dropped a good concentration of bombs on the railway yards. The southern and central parts of the yards were hit heavily with 500-pounders. Hits were also scored on marshalling yards just alongside the dock. Damage caused here hampered both rail and sea traffic. We suffered no losses. Poggibonsi, another target on the alternate Florence-Rome rail line. From an altitude of 12,000 feet, Marauders aimed 500-pounders, 8 bombs to a plane, at a railroad bridge outside Poggibonsi. This railroad bridge was hard to hit and easy to repair. It had to be attacked continually in order for the operation to be effective. The strangling of the German communications south of Florence proceeded according to plan. Prisoner statements and intelligence reports indicated that Kesselring's divisions in Italy were getting only 170 tons of supplies per day per division. It was estimated that the German divisions would need at least 200 tons per day against an Allied offensive. On April 22nd, the railroad bridge near the marshalling yards at Poggibonsi was attacked by 36 Marauders of the 12th Air Force. Escorted by Corsica-based AAF Spitfires, they dropped their 500-pound bombs from an altitude of about 10,000 feet. The same formation destroyed the viaduct at Tabbianello on the same day. Pictures taken after the raid show the bridge and marshalling yards crippled. Target, Incisa, another important link in the chain of rail communication. 1,000-pound bombs were aimed by B-26s at a steel railway bridge south of Incisa, a vital supply line on the direct Florence to Rome railroad. 24 Marauders, escorted by AAF Spitfighters from Corsica, at altitudes of about 10,000 feet, dropped bombs fused at instantaneous. This is usual with open work steel structures to prevent the bombs from going through open spaces before exploding. Concussion of the instantaneously fused bombs rocked ships flying at 10,000 feet. Neither flak nor interception was encountered. At least 2 direct hits were scored on the bridge. A good concentration cut both approaches and put the bridge out of commission for some time to come. Target, Porto San Stefano. On May 12th, our Strategic Air Force concentrated on harbors along the west coast of Italy all the way up to Genoa. Liberators attacked Porto San Stefano, about 75 miles northwest of Rome. 225 tons of bombs were dropped from an altitude of 18,500 feet. Hits were scored on harbor installations, and great damage was caused. Railroad yards and tracks were covered by bombs. Little flak and no fighters were encountered. All of our planes returned safely. At the Cappedichino airfield, the men of the Headquarters Squadron of the 79th Fighter Group are informed of the part their group plays in the Shingles Operation.
Policy of the wing to let the enlisted men know what's going on up in front. And heretofore we haven't done that, and now's a good time to let you know what's going on. And for that purpose, I've had Captain Bain here condense this into a short lecture and let you know what's going on up the front.
The main concentrations of boats were made at the Naples harbor and at Salerno, just around this peninsula. We moved over onto this side for the purpose of assisting in an operation which has been designated by our command as Shingles Operation. HR and D-Day was 3 o'clock this morning, and the boats took off in a course which we have marked on the map here and proceeded into the assault beaches. The beachhead itself is a small town known as Anzio, and just approximately 2 miles east of that, another small town known as Neptuno. The operation was broken down into 4 beachhead landings. The initial invasions were carried on very successfully in this area, meeting with no enemy opposition. The part that the 79th is playing in the show at the present moment is carrying on a patrol of the convoy lanes between the Ponciani Islands and the assault beaches themselves. We're also throwing a fighter cover of 16 aircraft over the assault area itself.
The aircraft that provided cover over the assault area itself returned from their mission. The airfield is near Naples at the foot of Mount Vesuvius, which may be seen in the background. The pilots of the aircraft are questioned by the group intelligence officer.
How was the show?
Oh, pretty good show.
God,
Pretty good show.
What did you ME?
Yes.
You destroyed the ME?
No, I got an FW right in here. That's right, that's one Vanderbilt show.
Yeah, I
Did
confirm
you
that. I saw it going
I
in.
got another one.
I saw that one going in.
You see him bail out, or did he
No,
just go in?
he went in. I saw a couple of sheets get out right there, too. I don't know who they was.
Was he on fire?
No, he just went in on a
Just two shoots.
Yeah, right here.
Van, where did you get yours?
Well, after Andy chased four of them off my tail, I was Nikolai showing from there on.
Nikolai is leader of the yellow section. What did you see?
Well, saw these MEs come diving down here behind us and went down on their tail. Chased them up here as far as the lake. And I lost him in here somewhere, but got on the tail of a 190 here and got him. He went down in the water.
Did he go over on his back or
Yeah, he
just go in?
just rolled right over and went in. And,
Bagged airspeed on that P-40, I reckon.
yeah, if I'd have had a little more, I could have caught there. Chased another 190 up this way and got up here to this field up here, a little northwest of Rome. And chased him around for a little while. After I got the second one, ran out of ammo up there and had to come home.
Well, you claim two destroyed, is that right?
Destroyed, yeah.
How did you do, Pete?
Well, I got mine about halfway between here and this point in Rome. And I gave him a couple bursts and his wheel dropped down in his canopy. Flew off and saw his chute open and his airplane burst his plane.
He bailed out. Yours bailed out too, Van.
Yeah, that's right.
Where's May at? I mean, where's the last see him?
I don't know where he went down.
Over there. George and I saw him last right up in here. There were about 6 Mark Wolves up there. 4 MEs. Who else got some now?
He did.
Dean, what did you do?
Yeah, I was chasing two up in here, but I had to let one go and only got one of them. Yeah, bad luck on that.
You got a damage, didn't you, Jack?
Yeah, we got right about in here. We went down on 3 of them, and I was following Lieutenant Tritipo down, and one of them turned into him, and then I turned into him and shot, and pieces came off of his fuselage, and then we followed some more on up in north of Rome, and that was approximately right up in here, where we ran into 6 more Fox-Wolves and 4 MEs, Captain Lee and myself.
Yeah, what happened to those up there? Christ's sake, you didn't come home and leave them go, did you?
Well, we were out of ammunition. We were out of ammunition then.
Good alibi, boy.
How does that work out, fellas? That makes 6 destroyed, 1 probable, and 1 damaged. That's a good show.
Again on May 12th, one day after the start of our offensive in the casino area, B-17s, accompanied by P-38 fighter escort, attempted to knock out General Kesselring's headquarters. It's believed that the location was Monte Serrate, about 30 miles north of Rome, on which 190 tons of bombs were dropped with good results. Here, the camera has followed the entire trajectory of the bombs from the moment they left the bomb bay until they burst. On the same day, other fortresses dropped 200 tons of bombs over German 10th Corps headquarters, 3 miles north of Avezzano. A Liberator of the 15th Air Force is badly damaged in a crash landing in Italy. The radio operator is trapped inside. A stretcher and medical equipment are brought up as the ground crew tries to break into the compartment with axes. The radio operator is finally reached, but he's still pinned in the plane by wreckage. To avoid delay, the medical officer administers blood plasma while the ground crew continues its work to free the man. The transfusion reduces the effects of shock. In the meantime, room has been made to carry him out through the smashed nose of the plane, and the radio operator is removed to be taken to the hospital. Target, Chartres, France. On March 28th, planes of the 8th Air Force strike against Chartres. Fighter-escorted B-17s make the attack. The enemy intercepts. Chartres is about 30 miles south of Paris and is the site of training bases for the German Air Force. The visibility is excellent. A number of enemy planes are destroyed on the ground. Approaching the French coast on the way home, the formations run into moderate flank. Target Diest, an enemy airfield near Brussels. 60 flying fortresses of the 8th Air Force leave the English coast to strike at a German airdrome in Belgium. They pass a convoy en route. Flak is encountered, but enemy fighter opposition is generally weak. "180 tons of bombs are dropped on an aircraft repair works, scoring hits on main workshops and large hangars. Bomb bays empty, the force head for home. Target Warnemunde. On April 9th, large forces of heavy bombers struck out at the relatively untouched Focke-Wulf 190 assembly or component plants and stations in northwestern Germany and Poland. 85 fortresses with lightning escort are dispatched to Warnemunde on the Baltic coast, about 130 miles north of Berlin. Opposition is determined, although relatively few enemy fighters are used in the defense of such important targets, especially in view of the deep penetration. As the fortresses pass over Kiel, the Germans release a smoke screen to hide the city. Anti-aircraft fire is reported as moderate. 75 tons of bombs are dropped on the Focke-Wulf factory at Warnemunde. 3 direct hits are scored on one of the 3 main buildings and on adjacent freight yards. One explosion in the target area creates a perfect smoke ring. Of the bombers that participated against the various Focke-Wulf targets were forced to land in Sweden.